All right, look, I'm going to tell you something that's going to sound absolutely insane. I'm broke. 47 bucks in my account, rent's due in a week. I said in my last video I was going to get a job. Looking for work, being responsible. And here's the thing, I haven't applied to a single job online yet. Not one. I do have people in my network that, I've reached out to and who can help me out. But, I've built those relationships, and that's what magnetic presence does. But I haven't reached out yet. And you know what? I'm at peace with it. Not because I'm delusional, not because I'm being irresponsible, but because I just have this deep gut instinct, this sense that God's telling me something different right now. And I think that might be the most important skill that you can develop, learning to trust that voice. Let me explain. You see, right now, I'm in what I call purgatory. Not hell, not heaven, just somewhere in between. I don't have income yet, but I'm not in total crisis mode either. I'm in the waiting, the in between, the uncertainty. And here's what I'm realizing, most of life is spent here. Not in the victory, not in the crisis, but in the in between. And nobody teaches you how to navigate this phase. You see, they'll teach you how to hustle, they'll teach you how to manifest, they'll even teach you how to grind. But nobody teaches you how to wait with faith while also preparing with wisdom. You see, that's the balance that I'm learning right now. And I think it's one of the most important lessons that I've ever learned. Because here's the thing, I could reach out to my network tomorrow. I could probably have work by next week. But every time I go to do it, I don't know, something in my spirit just says, not yet. There's something else that you need to do first. And you know what? I've learned to trust that voice. So, what is that voice saying? It's saying your story matters more than a paycheck right now. Now, I know how that sounds. Trust me, I know. It sounds naive. It sounds irresponsible. Heck, it sounds like I'm making excuses. But let me just break down what I actually mean. You see, I've been going through this whole transformation the past few years, from overweight and lost to training for races, from broke from broke and directionless to building this channel. And every step of that journey, I've learned something valuable. I made mistakes, I figured out things, I grew. And right now, in this broke, uncertain, scary phase, I'm learning something massive. I'm learning how to trust God when it makes no logical sense. I'm learning how to have peace in uncertainty. I'm learning how to prepare in the waiting. And here's what I keep sensing. These lessons are going to help way more people than me just going and getting a job right now. Not forever, but right now. Because how many people are in this exact same spot? Broke, scared, uncertain, trying to figure it out, whether they should give up on their dreams and just get a 9 to 5. And what do they need? They need someone who's been there, someone who's in it, someone who's being radically honest about the struggle. Not someone who's already made it telling them what to do from the mountaintop. It's always hard to relate to that person. They need someone in the valley with them saying, hey, I'm figuring this shit out too, but you know what? Let's figure it out together. That's what God's been putting in my heart. That my value right now isn't being another cog in the wheel. It's in documenting this journey, being honest about it, and helping others through my own story. Now, let me be very, very clear about something, because I can already hear what some of you are thinking. Bro, you're just justifying being broke. Man, you're just being irresponsible. Let me just draw a very clear line between faith and foolishness. Foolishness is, I'm not going to work because God will just drop money from the sky. Faith is, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm trusting the timing even though I can't see the full picture yet. Foolishness ignores responsibility, while faith acknowledges responsibility but also acknowledges timing. So what I'm actually doing, let me be specific. I'm not just sitting around praying for money. I'm preparing. Financially, I'm tracking every single dollar. I know exactly what I have, what I need, what I can cut. I'm eating simply rice, eggs, chicken, beef, vegetables, the bare bones, the basics. I'm not eating out. I'm not wasting money. I've eliminated all unnecessary spending. If it's not essential, it's gone. And I have a plan. If I don't have income by a specific date, then I'm going to reach out to my network. I have a deadline. I'm not just floating indefinitely. Physically, I'm training consistently. Why? Because I can't control when money comes, but I can control my body. Physical discipline maintains mental discipline. You see, when everything else feels uncertain, training gives me something solid. Race prep is on track. Week 2 complete. I'm not letting financial stress destroy my health. And spiritually, I'm praying every morning, not just asking for money. I'm asking for clarity. I'm asking for wisdom. I'm asking, what do you want me to learn here? You see, I'm spending time in silence, meditation, listening, because sometimes God speaks in the quiet, in the silence, when there's no noise. I've been reading scripture, building my faith foundation, because faith isn't just a feeling, it's built on truth. And then practically, I'm still posting 3-4 videos per week. I'm building this channel, creating value, showing up every single day. I'm responding to the comments, building the community, and I'm being present for the people who are watching, who are here. I'm working on the 7-day reset, creating something that can actually help people regardless of whether it makes me money or not, right now. You see what I'm doing? I'm not sitting around waiting for a miracle. I'm doing everything that I can humanely do. But I'm also listening to that inner voice that says, trust the timing. There's a reason this is happening this way. That's not foolishness. That's faith with action. That's faith in action. So let's talk about intuition for a second. That gut instinct, that inner knowing. Because I think a lot of people confuse this intuition with delusion. You see, delusion is, I have a feeling everything will work out, so I don't need to do anything. I can just chill, put my feet up, and that's it. Intuition is, I'm doing everything I should be doing, but I also sense that there's this timing. There's a timing to this that I can't force. Delusion ignores reality. Intuition acknowledges reality, but also acknowledges something deeper. And here's what I've learned from my own life. Every time that I've trusted that deep gut feeling, that gut instinct, even when it made no logical sense, things always worked out. Not always the way that I expected, but always better than I could have ever planned. For example, a year ago, I wanted to live in a nice apartment by the beach, minimal, simple, private, as close to the water as I can get. I had no money, no clear path, just this vision and this feeling that it would happen. And you know what? I'm living in that apartment right now, by the beach, exactly what I envisioned. You see, 6 months ago, I decided to get back into serious training. I had no accountability, no structure, just this sense that I needed to. And now, I'm training with my brother every morning at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I've got a 10K race in 3 weeks. Exactly what I needed. You see, 2 months ago, I felt this pull to start being more honest with this channel. More vulnerable, more real. And now, the videos where I'm the most honest are the ones getting the most engagement, the most comments, the most impact. So when I say I'm trusting this process right now, I'm not being naive. I'm drawing from a pattern in my own life that tells me when you combine faith with action, things will work out. Not in your timeline, but on the right timeline, on God's timeline. And right now, every time I go to reach out for work, I get this sense, not yet. keep building, keep showing up, keep being honest. The door will open when it's supposed to. I've learned to trust that voice because it's never led me wrong. So what is this season teaching me? You can't force timing. You can prepare, you can work, you can show up, you can do everything right, but you can't force the door to open on your schedule. And that's the hardest lesson for high achievers to learn. You see, we're taught work harder, push more, force the outcome, make it happen. But sometimes the most powerful thing that you can do is work hard and surrender the timing. Not surrender the effort, surrender the timeline. I don't know when income will come. It could be next week, it could be next month. But what I do know is I'm becoming the person who's ready when the door opens. I'm building discipline, building faith, building character, building this channel, building this community. So when that opportunity comes, and it will, I'm not scrambling, I'm not desperate, I'm not panicking, I'm ready. You see, this is what preparing in the waiting means. And here's the thing, if I'd gotten a job 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have made the first video about recovery and burnout. That video is already helping people. I can see it in the comments. If it wasn't this broke phase right now, I wouldn't be making this video. And somebody watching this right now needs to hear it. They need to know. They're not crazy for trusting their gut. They're not irresponsible for believing that there's a bigger plan. So maybe, just maybe, the reason I'm in this uncomfortable place is because somebody else needs to see how to navigate it with faith instead of fear. So if you're watching this and you're in your own purgatory phase, maybe you're waiting on income. Maybe you're waiting on clarity about what's next. Maybe you're waiting on a breakthrough in your business. Maybe you're waiting on a relationship. Maybe you're waiting on healing. Whatever it is, let me tell you something. The waiting isn't wasted time. The waiting is where you're being prepared for what's coming. God doesn't waste seasons. Every season has a purpose. And the quality of your waiting determines the quality of your arrival. See, if you wait with panic, then you'll arrive with panic. If you wait with desperation, you'll arrive with desperation. If you wait with faith, you'll arrive with peace. So do everything that you can do. Take the action, show up, prepare. But also trust that there's a timing to this that's bigger than your own plan. And in the meantime, prepare. Get your body right. Get your mind right. Get your spirit right. Build the skills, build the character, build the foundation so that when your moment comes, and it will, you're ready. Not just ready to receive it, but ready to sustain it. Because a lot of people get their breakthrough and they lose it because they weren't prepared for it. Don't be that person. Use the waiting to prepare. So here's a choice that I'm making. I'm choosing to trust that my own story matters more than my comfort right now. I'm choosing to believe that helping others through my own struggle is more valuable than just getting a paycheck and keeping quiet about it. I'm choosing to document this journey even though it's fucking scary. Even though it's vulnerable, even though people might think that I'm crazy. Because I believe someone needs to hear this. I believe someone needs to see this. Someone needs to know that you can be broke and still have faith. Someone needs to know that you can be in uncertainty and still have peace. Someone needs to know that waiting doesn't mean you're failing. And if that person is you right now, if you needed to hear this today, then this whole struggle has been worth it. I don't know when the income will arrive. I don't know when the doors will open. I don't know how this is all going to pan out. But what I do know is this. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing right now. And I'm trusting that God's got the rest. Not because I'm naive, but because every time that I've trusted this, even when it made no sense, it's worked out. So I'm going to keep showing up here, keep being honest, keep documenting the journey. And when this breakthrough comes, and it will, you'll see it happen in real time. You'll know it's real because you watch the whole process from start to finish. So drop a comment if you found this valuable and let me know, where are you in your own season? Where are you waiting in your own season right now? For example, I'm waiting on what and preparing by doing this job. So that might sound like I'm waiting on income while preparing by building discipline daily. And if you need a framework for staying disciplined while you wait, the 7-day reset is in the description. Now, for everyone in purgatory, for everyone in the in-between, and for everyone who's trusting in the process even when it's scary, we're preparing together. So let's go. Let's get it. And let's conquer. Catch you guys in the next one.